But how is the quality? First, we need people that want quality, right? Education, which I'm sure there are some, right? We need that first. And then a model of how are you going to support the reference to create quality? Because it's hard because it's not. You have to create quality, you have to invest in it, getting 5 years before then we need it. So I think it's a hard one. Very nice to say how we need to quality more than like but not easy to all of it, right? We need that. And that's then
See, how many students are looking for quality and are they ready to pay? For example, like IITs, where they spend 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh students, maybe more than very less. Very less private engineering colleges, of course, there is no state to state. The max, minimum is about 1.6 lakh, which is that. So we should definitely invest further quality, but who is going to be ready to take that loss? That huge loss. If it is really nobody there, because definitely service is the first model. Of course, they will expect some people, they invest in an eye and a lot of other things. So that is the difficult situation in private sector, not everybody is ready to do this. And yeah, we should definitely allow the new players, because there may be somebody who really wanted to invest a lot of money. Some people don't spend like hundreds of crores to start an institution out of that. So we should do that, but in a controlled way. And I think private colleges, we cannot generalize to improve the quality because it's linked to the fees and that is linked to the government incentive. So as long as it's linked to the government incentive, we'll never, it's very difficult, I can say now. It's very difficult, very few can do that. Because I know we are struggling, like even to pay salaries. Since we are established in other sectors, we are able to pay on-time salaries and all. What about somebody who has just a college, that is the only thing? How are they going to pay the salaries, stand for the infrastructure, quality? And again, the professor, again, they range from 20,000 to 3-4 lakh, 5 lakhs. So how are you going to accomplish that kind of quality? So that is a big question. And I would definitely say we need new players. I take my interest at once, you to whatever. Maybe some big corporate government should look at who is starting, what is their plan, how much is the investment, things like that. It's not like, okay, you just do the college, they invest and go start a college, they can never do that.
So I am of the opinion that restricting the number of colleges is not a solution. But then coming up with a stringent regulation, that is very, very important. Right? So it's like I know that in 2001 or 2, like privatization of engineering colleges and things like 1990 something, I'm not really sure, 1991. So with the let's say allowing privatization in education sector, it actually helped lot of students. Because there are limited number of seats, right? Now I want to engineer, right? I might not have cleared the entrance exam, but right? And then still I want to engineer. So with privatization, it actually has a lot of students, and I don't think that any of the engineering student who is right now passed out after before 5 years is just sitting at the level. Because I have almost 10 batches which I have come out, and all of the students are very good. They might not is campus right? But then they're still really good. That we have actually given them source or maybe they have enriched enhancement to such extent that they can survive and they can have a good living after completion of their graduation or post-graduation. But yeah, as rightly said, that it has to be a controlled way, right? So but once you allow the private colleges to come into play, it's important to give us Indian regulation. The government also needs to continuously monitor it, whether they are able to deliver what is desired. Right. Second, before giving permission to any private institute, it is important to check the sustainability whether they will be able to sustain or not. So as for entrepreneurship, we check, right? So whenever the startup is coming, we check whether these guys are going to succeed or not, right? Whether they have that kind of knowledge, they have that kind of bandwidth, wherein they will be able to grow exponentially over a period of years. So the same screening has to be done for the private institutes itself. But I think with the kind of population that India is having, the number of institutes are still less. Right, 60% of our population is still in the rural area, right? And we don't even know how many rural people, students or youth is living in a rural area are getting educated. Most of them are getting into business at the age of 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, because they don't have any other option to go for. But then they are doing good after 10 years down the line, right? So many people who are uneducated, they are big businessmen, and they are hiring IIT, NIT, and private university all graduates. So I think number of institutes must increase, but in a regulated way.
Yep.
Nice.
Can you open for just one or two Q&A questions?
Yeah. Okay, guys, I know we're short on time, so we'll quickly go to, oh yeah, I was about to say that, please raise your hand and the mic will magically appear.
Hello, good afternoon. Professor Srinivas here from AC Engineering Hyderabad. Nice panel discussion about the last question about the engineering colleges increasing or decreasing. I think no, I came actually with Santosh from 97 onwards, no, in particular in the combined state of Andhra Pradesh. Before 97, we were having 16 to 17 engineering colleges in the state of combined Andhra Pradesh. 97 government of Andhra Pradesh started increasing their colleges. At the time, I was there in the campus, JNT campus. All the students of that batch made a big strike. Almost from Kokotapalli Housing Board colony to entire JNT was black. Because of don't have engineering colleges, private engineering colleges, because there's no difference between JNT campus students, JNT outside campus students. That's why that was a step move. That is a great step by the point of the government of Andhra Pradesh. Because of that, colleges are open in rural colleges. Like I mentioned with Santosh, 60% of population in rural colleges only. Before that, I worked in a college in Andhra Pradesh, where it's situated in a very little place called as Nambur, Vasiredi Venkataraja Institute of Technology, VVIT. I proudly say, because of that move, almost we produce good quality students from that village. Almost we can say, we cannot expect a student from that village got a package of 24 to 36 lakh packages from that village. That will happen because of these colleges only. And also a lot of employability. If you establish engineering college, I think Chakravarti knows, almost there are 250 to 300 faculty, another 250 to 300 faculty from non-teaching supporting staff. Almost all is directly for 500, indirectly for another 500,000 employability for within engineering college. And of course, a lot of benefits to the students. Now, my question to this panel, all senior, most different stakeholders from different organizations. In early days of placements, since I'm a placement director, I'm asking the question relating to placements only. In 90s and in the beginning of 2000, the campus placement is like this, only paper-based, only quant, reason, verbal, correcting the papers, announce the results, that's all. After that, computer-based test, again, quant, reason, and verbal, again, shortlisting, and then. Thanks to TCS for introducing code Vita, then the entire scenario changed to competitive coding. Thanks to Wipro introducing a concept known as the project-based learning through Talent Next program, that scenario changed. And thanks to pandemic, completely changed offline to entire online system, online ecosystem. Now, again, with this scenario, my question to all the panel members is, what may be the next step for the placement scenario? How it will be? Like internship, like mentioned by Mr. Chakri about incubations, how it will go? How can you guide us? Thank you.
Thank you.
See, I'll tell you one situation which was I was discussing yesterday also. that with all the new initiatives which is coming, right? New national education policy, startup ecosystem, lot of other things, right? The value of degrees are going to go out. It's going to become obsolete. That is what I think. I might be wrong. But what I feel is now the companies would want to hire directly after 12th standard. It might take some time, but this is what I feel, right? That now if you see TCS and Wipro, right? I was discussing with one of the executives of TCS. He clearly said that we don't require BTech guys, right? We don't require BTech guys, but then we want huge numbers, and we want huge numbers with certain level of talent, right? And as engineers are, you get in kilos, right? In India. So they said that why don't you get with the best of the talent, right? If I'm offering 3.2 lakhs package and still I'm getting best of the talent, I would definitely want to go for it. Then I'll not think that whether I require BTech or not, right? And second option was that they required 12 plus 4 because for H1 and all those things, because they depute them to other countries as well, right? So their minimum criteria was 12 plus 4. But as you see that most of the IT mass recruiting companies, they would hire the student and then they would want them to unlearn and then relearn, right? So eventually, and now as I was discussing that 3-4 days back, I was talking to the IT owners, IT company owners, and they were saying that now the time is such that it is going to be very, very difficult to predict the future. Now the strategic leaders are unable to devise a strategy for the next year as well, because the environment is so dynamic. With ChatGPT and other things coming into play, you will not be able to predict that what is going to happen next. So it will become more difficult decision to invest in a particular direction, right? So let's say if you invest so much, and then after, for example, now everyone is investing in electric car, right? Now everybody is doing electric. Now let's say after 5 years, the technology is upgraded. It comes to some different level, wherein even electric is not required, right? Maybe with hydrogen cell and a lot of technologies coming up, right? Yeah, so drone is also there. People are coming up with an option of water also, right? With water also you can run the vehicles. So if I invest substantially in a particular direction on talent, on technology and everything, there is a possibility that after 5 years it might become obsolete. So that might not be a sustainable business decision, right? So what I feel is that in the coming times, after 12th, the companies would want to hire the candidates, train them, put them on board, give them practical experience. Along with them, the student will be able to pursue a degree. So placement might not become a problem, but yeah, it depends upon the requirement also in the industry, right?
So I have a slightly different view I don't think, thankfully, visa is the reason that they need a 4-year degree. So they can't hire after 12. Okay. They might be compelled business-wise to hire, but they can't because they need a 4-year degree, which they can't give. I believe education, like I was telling sometime back also, 21 years, all the things in the world around 21 years of like for different reasons that being the age is because mind and body is still developing. So we don't want to mess with the development, put them in a job, a 9-to-5 job, we're messing with the development. So what's the hurry? Let them learn. It's like everything may not be towards a particular job or a skill. A lot of happened, like, I mean, in the pandemic, we realized one of the first things that hit us hard was we're a residential campus. Our students are on campus, and like the first thing we realized was like it was hard-hitting realization. Lot of learning happens outside the classroom in a campus like ours. Lot of learning happens outside the classroom. Now, a course that can teach probably, even if not as well, what's happening in the classroom. What about what's happening outside the classroom? A lot of peer learning happens. They're not just talking about movies and such when they're meeting wherever outside. And lot of learning happens outside the classroom, both soft and hard. The concepts and subject learning, and also a lot of the soft learning happens. So I think we shouldn't mess with that. I'm not a big fan of internship is one thing, but a job after in the early ages is not a good thing. And thankfully things like visa and such, like Santosh pointed out, companies won't jump and take up that possibility, even if it might work for them. So which is good. And I also believe education need not have a very specific purpose. Education is education. So it's okay if they don't get a job. They did mechanical engineering, they didn't get a job in mechanical, they might do something else. They became an entrepreneur selling food. It doesn't matter, right? I think there is a certain conditioning that happened in those 4 years, right? They learn something, but it's not just the learning of those mechanical concepts or the subject and such. But there's a lot of things they learn to learn. It's a big learning. I mean, like the whole IT industry depends on the fact that when they say they're looking at aptitude and such, it's not aptitude alone they care for. The ability to learn is the most important skill in IT industry, especially. In other industries, maybe like you get into one type of a factory and like maybe it doesn't change a whole lot over a period of time, but IT industry changes every 5 years so much. And learning to learn is a big resource for anybody. If you have the ability to learn, you can do anything. I mean, like if they're switching and becoming like as a mechanical engineer, they're now suddenly deciding to go into healthcare. That's because the ability to learn is their primary skill. So they can pick up healthcare, they can pick up food business, they can pick up anything. So I think if we teach them to learn, I think that is their more lasting skill than the specific things they pick up. So yes, I think placement, there will be pressure always. There is pressure. I don't think when we had like 20 colleges in the case, I remember when I went to a university college, there was no placement at all. We'd apply for all the exams and then go write and then find something. And so it's a process even then, when there were like 20 colleges in the state, it was no different. And when there are now 300 colleges in the state, it's no different. So there will be a demand supply gap always, which means there will be pressure on placements. But I think as institutions, we can do the best we can to prepare them for their kind of careers. And not, yes, society, parents, everybody looks for, and the only indicator in any institution is the placement. But I think we should balance that. That is there, but also look at what kind of skills can we get them for life, not just for the first job. Like they say, like our current director, PJ Narayan, says it all the time. We prepare our students for their last job. That's our internal philosophy in the way we do, like we put a lot of emphasis on human values. We do many things. And like, our emphasis on learning to learn, which is huge emphasis on learning to learn. Our whole model, like we don't teach Python, and yet they're the best Python programmers coming out in the graduating class in the country. Is because our emphasis on learning to learn, teaching them how to learn, and they learn also. So many things we do, like the phrase he uses a lot, which all of us kind of believe, we are preparing them for the last job, not for the first job.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now the job market may be little bit low down. Maybe that's why you might be thinking like, what is the future? But I would say it's not going to die. Definitely the number of jobs is going to go up year by year. Maybe after 6 to 8 months, even Microsoft is laying off. It's not because they don't have business or just sentiment. If Microsoft lay off some people, then the small companies will also try to save some money by laying off. But definitely the jobs are going to be there. And again, the skilled people. There is a point, a time when everybody got a job, regardless of their skill, because they want number of people. Later, they realize, because once they say put it to a US client, they look at equality. Then they realized, okay, we need a quality people. So for quality students, there is definitely a good future and career. And again, coming to that 12th grade or a degree, a few years ago, companies like TechM and these people, they started hiring more degree students, thinking they can give 3 lakh package. 50, 60,000 less. They started hiring, but what happened? They stopped doing that because they don't have that skill. See, once they talk to the 12th graders, they will know their quality, their attitude and their age, it's young, basically 12th grade. See, in the engineering 4 years, we know what kind of efforts we are putting, whatever outcome they are seeing right now. They may be thinking it's bad or excellent, but that is where it started. Yeah, there are so many changes happened. We are training them in many ways, like communication or their attitude, culture, there are many things. So I definitely think the market is going to be there. And again, we need to assess every 6 months, every year, we need to get in touch with the corporate all the time, see what they are looking for. And if not jobs, again, higher studies. If not higher studies, the entrepreneurship. See, we try to do, as he said, we try to do our best. If there are no jobs, no jobs. Like even during our time, out of 70 computer science students, only 6, 7 people got jobs. Yes, sir. which is a top university now, they never provided jobs at that time. So it just, even parents go by time. If all the colleges are not providing jobs, what will they do? They just don't stop asking about jobs. If there are some colleges, providing many jobs and some no, then they try to prefer going to the best college. So, I mean, as always, we try our best and skill them. We teach the life skills. And if not in the campus, they will go out of the campus and, search down their own.
One question from my side. Sure. A quick one. This is about the finishing school. I'm more on the recruitment side, the placement side, where we are placing people into the companies. And 70% of them they don't even know what they are written in their own resume, because somebody else must have prepared their resume or some online resume. They just submit. And when you ask them the question on their own resume, they don't know. So is there anything that you would like to throw light on that you are doing that all can be done that will help solve this problem? And I'm not saying this bad. Maybe at AAA, that's a different story that the strong candidates are in there, but institutions like ours, where 50–60% of the student body is like that. So is there any program that you are running?
Yeah, what you're saying is true, because they don't focus much on that. They even copy somebody's resume, change the name. Some people, they even forget to change the name. So that these things are happening. But yeah, I mean, see, they need corporate interaction. Number one, see, like we need to, of course, we do some, but of course, we also need to improve. We need to bring the corporate HR people or, some managers, interact with the students, that way they will know like what market is, how the market is, what they are looking at. If the academic professor tells them about job market, they just laugh because they think they don't know anything. And again, professors in IITs and all are there by choice, and Tier 2 they are by chance. So I know, I mean, the difference. So even these people, they try to get the big jobs and they couldn't, and they settle down in teaching. So we have to put efforts not only on the students, even on the staff, because it has to be through the staff, not some CEO comes and try to implement things. It has to be done through the faculty. So for those faculty, we need to train them first, make them, to talk about resumes, and we need to start skilling them right from the first year. And, they need to make the resume in the first year. Every year they need to update. It's not that, in the final year, the company is coming, I make the resume. Every year they need to work on their resume, like, what have I done this year? Okay, I have done this certification, for example, like Python certification, just put it in there. I have done the internship, just put it in there. See, that's how they need to work on the resume each year. And that way they will be prepared and they know what they have put in. So we shouldn't do the last minute thing. You are getting all those last minute resumes, which is why you must be thinking, what is this happening? So yeah, I think that's it from me.
Thank you.
I also tell when I meet kids, generally anybody, some for advice and such, and when they show the resume, I tell them what is this unique in this resume that nobody in your class has or in your batch has. Forget nobody in your batch has. Most likely 80% of the batch has the exact same resume. I've done this course, I've done this certification, I've done build this small project, and like I think like Chakri rightly said, they should build a personal profile. I mean, not just do the same thing the whole batch is doing. Yes, everything they do, some others may also be doing. But they should have picked a combination that is unique to them. And that's very important, I think. But yeah, it's easier said than done.
I'd just like to add 1 minute. So it's like, see, the ideal way is definitely to groom and mentor the student rigorously from the first day itself. Ideal way. Right, but with looking at the mass of the students that we have, the number of faculties that we have, And the faculties, as rightly said by Mr. Chakravarti, that many of the faculties are not even motivated also because they have not come by choice, right? That they might be forced. And the same is the case with the student also, right? So it is very important that first of all, purpose identification and then goal setting. These two things are very, very important. If you can inculcate this thing into the student, automatically, then you don't have to do anything. You just have to guide them. Now, when we talk about IITs, triple IITs, the students who are coming to these premium institutes, they are working since so many years to get into this institute. So their purpose is very clear that I want to get into this, and that's why they are working so hard. And once they land up into that institute, they know that, no, I want to now utilize this time. I want to do everything that the professor is going to say us. So there, the effort of professor in terms of pushing the student is also less as compared to in other private universities. In other private universities, it's like, first of all, the professor himself is not there by choice many a times, right? And the student is also not by choice, right? The student is saying that, okay, my parents pushed me that you have to do a degree, so that's why I'm doing a degree, right? But that doesn't mean that the student is not having the capability. The problem is the student doesn't have a purpose at that point of time. Now, these backbenchers, once they get into the corporate world, they do brilliantly well, even better than the IITs or the IIMs, right? Because they have identified their purpose by that time. So the mentoring is very much required right from the first day itself, so that you can make them realize that what is the purpose, and then they can set a goal. And after that, no matter how much guidance you give, they will definitely blindly follow it. वो बोलते हैं कि गुरु एक बार मैंने आपको मान लिया, right? So then I will, even if you tell me wrong things, I'll do it because I have considered you as my guru. So that is not there in private university students, right? So that's I would say that it has to be started from the day one itself.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Do you have time? Like we're running out of time, sir.
Guys, I know this is a small question. I will.
It's actually taking from what's happening in the world today. By the way, my name is Anuj Chiravuri. I am with byteXL. It's actually taking from your point about learn by learning. The pace of world is changing so fast that unless students change their way of thinking, how the way they learn, they are going to be struggling as they go forward in life. So what is the experience that you all have? When change, many of them have come by learn by rote when they come in. But they've now had to change. You all have made that big transition to learn by learning. And that's something I think we need to spread that skill of learn by learning and make it a part of the value system. What is the learning? I mean, your experience around that?
So this is one thing that we structured early on. I mean, before even I joined, the institute had structured we had some phenomenally good faculty in the early days who went on to become directors and deans. So, and of course, Professor Rajedi, I mean, CMU, so his experience, I mean, when he became chairman, when government brought him in, he was already like 65 years old. Today is 87 years old. And so all his experience, 40 years of experience in research in the US and all that come into play. But one example of trying to do things differently, we do this IT workshop. And the idea is that like all concepts, like from operating system to databases to web programming to many things are taught just by telling them to build something. You're building database, teach them just the basics of SQL and make them build a small SQL application. So they introduce different concepts are introduced in the first semester and second semester, the two IT workshops. And in the second year, when they do a database programming course, right, which goes into all the deeper concepts and such, they already know how to write a small database program. When they go into operating system, they already done something with shell scripting and such. When they go into any of those, the IT workshop introduces them. And they're all doing very minimal things are taught, and the whole thing of building something. And they build and so I think that's one thing that unlearns them in terms of the road base. They're all coming from the Fiji, Chaitanya, Narayana quota system, right? Which is all like kind of, they've just been driven to answer multiple choice questions. So you have to unlearn that. So this IT workshop, I believe in a way, it's a bridge for us in the first year, where they unlearn, because here nobody's telling them what to do. You just taught them the basic SQL commands and given them a program to go build it. Now you have to think, okay, something was taught, nobody told them how to do it. What was taught is what they need, but they have to apply that now to do it. I think very quickly, I think they kind of come out of that mindset into this mindset. I mean, there are other things also, I'm sure, but I think that's one particular thing that brings about that transition. And we do that in the first semester itself.
Thank you, everyone. With that marks the end of the Q&A session for today. But before we get the panelists off the stage, we first want to thank them for their presence today. And for that, I welcome Mr. Sricharan Tharapalli to hand out the bouquets. And we also have a very, very special guest among us. I kindly welcome Mr. Malini Perumalu garu onto the stage. Welcome, sir. We're very honored today to have Mr. Perumalu with us today. He's the founder and chairman of Malini Women's Engineering College. And he's here with us to share the transformation story of Malini College and how, first of all, sir, we're very honored that you're here and with your presence, and we'll hear more about your transformation story of your college and how not only in the skilling journey and how much it has impacted for women's empowerment.
So maybe you can be on the direct.
Very good afternoon, all my dear delegates, persons from various institutions and corporate sector. Good afternoon. I don't know why Mr. Charan has chosen me as a speaker in this session. He suddenly surprised me 2 days back. I don't think I'm that good speaker, but no doubt byteXL, yeah. byteXL has been a great association with our college, and I'm Dr. Malini Perumalu. I run engineering colleges, exclusively women's engineering colleges in rural areas, Prakasham district and Guntur district. And I think with the association of the byteXL before that, I can still remember 2019, before few months before COVID, when Charan and his team entered into my chamber for this association. I don't know why I have signed that. And I don't know what made me to take up that step, that bold step. And today I'm here and I can proudly say that byteXL is part of our Malini group at present. Running engineering colleges is very tough. That too, women's engineering colleges also, it has become tougher. And that too with 35,000 of fees per year. As Chakravarti Garu and other guests were telling, why students nowadays, or even engineering students, that too, we have most of the students are from rural areas. And they take up engineering just because government is giving them fee reimbursement. 70% of the students are through fee reimbursement. That is why they are taking up engineering, because of the government support. And that is why they are joining engineering. Even though they don't get qualification in, they don't get qualified in MSET, or if they get even 1 lakh rank, the first thing they ask is, what about the placements in your college? I was surprised, even IIT, another delegate was telling, even IITs has the same kind of thing. They come to an engineering college, they ask, when we ask them why engineering, they just say job. Which branch in engineering? CSC and only CSC. Nothing else, not even ECE, forget about mechanical, civil, EEE and all. And why CSC? Software job. Why software job? To go to US or to fly and take up job there. Why you need to go to you need to get and fly to US or UK to get a NRI match. Why NRI match? Because my neighbor, my relatives get this. With a very narrow-minded, most of the parents or most of the students, they come to engineering education or they come and we can clearly say that they just focus on placements. Nothing, they don't worry about, they don't want anything. If the placement is good in that college, I think they have that admission. I think byteXL, before entering into association with byteXL, my intake was only 360. But now my intake has gone to 1120 and now I'm autonomous institution. And my recruiting capacity also has increased. Paying capacity package, salary package also has increased. Admission process also has increased. And no doubt I can never forget byteXL in that way. I think we are working on some other models also. Mr. Charan and his team, surely I think we'll have a great association with our college. And few things I want to share regarding this technology or technology for engineering students. See, let us see pros and cons of using mobile. Even school children, last week we had a session from government teachers. We were given, few engineering colleges were given some sessions. We were asked to take up some faculty and train government teachers on technology, digitalization of their classrooms and all. End of that session, we had around 160 government teachers who visited our college, who got trained in our college. End of the session, I was called and I was asked to speak. And I heard from them that, see, government students, they hardly get to buy chappals, they hardly get to buy books, even though they are getting funds from government. But everyone has mobile. Everyone has mobile. That's what government teachers are complaining. Leave about private sector or leave about corporate thing. Most problem I think we'll be facing is use of mobile phones among our students and all. Creativity is lost. See, we saw one little kid there. Why she came to that screen? Not to play. See, she saw that shadow falling and she's trying to create some images. Once she goes to engineering, that creativity is lost. Creativity is lost. And with zero creativity, zero innovation, we have to again start. Engineering colleges or byteXL or corporate sectors, again, we have to again regain them or give them that capacity again to take up all these things. That is what the present scenario is. Training is very much important. Unless you train the faculty are not getting updated. Most of the faculty. Now we have branches like most of the engineering colleges in India, we have branches like CS and allied branches, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all. But regular faculty, they are not in a position to differentiate between a CSC classroom, AI classroom, data science class. That is where I think byteXL have to take up this gap. I have to fill this gap. That is what we feel. Even the mobile phones, if we give them real profit, real stuff in that mobile, or if we give them information in that mobile, how they used to, what mobile is used, how it can be better used or more useful to the technology and all, I think at least instead of 90% of the students are misusing the mobiles. But only unless we give them real stuff into that, they'll start taking up these mobiles in a proper way. That is a great challenge we will be facing in future. Even now that it has become universal problem. And I think what we expect from byteXL is, no doubt, we have most of the students are from rural areas where few days back, 2-3 days back, I had an admission. One of my friend brought his daughter for admission in my college. That girl doesn't know that this is a women's college. His father is my friend, he brought. When I asked her, sir, are you not, this is not a co-ed college. I expected co-ed college, I want admission in co-ed college. Then they went out, father came in, who is my friend, he asked, sir, give her admission in this college only. She doesn't know that, see, girls are preferring co-ed college. Only parents are preferring women's colleges. insecurity problem or the social things, whatever it is. But they come in a narrow-minded. Why engineering? It is only for job. Social responsibility, how much government is spending on their education, that is completely forgotten. And I think that is where corporates, that is where the other associations have to take up this role. And this is what we expect. Running engineering college nowadays in rural areas, I think Mr. Chekri was telling, hardly we get to pay salaries in time. At this situation, why still we run engineering colleges? Just because of passion. We need engineering college, we run out of passion. And this is where we expect more and more associations and more, I think, support from byteXL kind of organizations. Please come to rural areas. One advantage is, I think there are great advantages why you need to recruit students from rural area colleges. Retention ratio will be very good, because very low, because once they are given a job with basic salary, I don't think they'll leave the company. With the support of byteXL, when we had, now I have around, this year I had around 375 students who got placed in various companies, Accenture, TCS, Wipro, Capgemini, all these companies. And why Accenture still they are visiting, they have given us the dates, because girls from last 2 years, almost 80% of the girls, they're still continuing there in Accenture or in other companies. That is there in case of rural areas. I don't know what happens in corporate areas or in cities, colleges, or in universities like that. But if they're given an opportunity, only thing is we need to push them, give them some technology, give them some outputs where they get a job. Once they're given a job, they do it very genuinely, they do it very sincerely. That is why we expect more corporate people to visit our colleges. I think you will see the result of it. I have few HR friends who they focus only on rural areas, rural college, engineering colleges. So that is what we expect. And thank you, Mr. Charan and your team. I think we'll still have a very great association. We want your association. We'll have a very good future ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was very heartfelt. And just to follow up on what Dr. Perumalu said, we will have 2 testimonials from Malineni students talking about their skilling journey.
My name is Deepthi. I'm currently studying BTech final year in the branch of Computer Science and Engineering at Malineni Lakshmaya Women's Engineering and College, Guntur. Before, I believe that I do only theoretical knowledge, and after byteXL training, I found that very practicality and with real-time examples we have done with, and now I'm very confident with my coding skills. My favorite language is Python, and we have learned some more languages like Java and C, and we know they give us very useful Java and C, and we know how confident we are speaking about now. It's all obviously about our spoken English classes also from the byteXL training, and it's obviously it was a good experience in that by talking fluently or speaking very confidently with the journey is really good experience for me. Now I got the confidence of writing exams, and of course I got placed with the help of my coding skills and cracked the interview with the speaking skills, and I'm sure about that I can crack any further exams also. As a student, everyone has a dream to get a job in MNCs. Particularly for me, when I got the mail of interview, I feel that I have to I prepared for a few hours, and I'm very sure and I'm confident with the skills I have, and straightly go with the interview and confidently I know what I'm speaking with my knowledge, and I told them that I have this much of knowledge in the context I have, and so that was the journey in the interview, and it was pretty good for me. The trainers are very friendly And when we have doubt or when we need help for the hands-on coding, they clear our doubts and they give us very useful suggestions to us, and they were very helpful and supportive.
Thank you, everyone. With that, I think we can conclude today's discussion. Very happy. I hope that, everyone is coming out of this a little better informed, a little better engaged, a little bit interested about the topic. After this discussion, I hope somebody's thinking, I learned something new. I think that means we've done our job. And if you're thinking, oh, I learned something new, but I want to learn more about this, then, that's even better. So thank you so much, guys. We will be having, I think we have a thank you last word from Mr. Kar. Yes, sir. Please come on stage.
Sanjeev, we just want to say thank you. He was supposed to fly to Singapore. He cancelled his ticket and graced us for this event. So, yeah, quick introduction and then thanks for being here.
Well, I had a chance to live half of my life outside India. Nothing proud about it. India is a great place. I've become the stall with the biryani of Hyderabad. Working outside India, what I realized is that when we recruit people outside, when they come out of the college, the freshers, they are very, very different than what I see them here. So this is where I'm trying to fix that journey, what we call as finishing school back in the US. That was largely stated for women, but I think in India it's required for everybody. So that's the journey I'm embarking on through our company and associating and working along with byteXL. Our biggest journey is beginning again with Sharan and Karun here with Microsoft India. We are partnering together and setting up a center of excellence. And Sharan has some bigger ideas for our institution. Our institution currently has around 40,000 students back in Chennai. I also am a director of some institutions in Indonesia, some in Africa. So I'm hoping for a long journey with byteXL. I love the ideas which Karun and Sharan have put together. I like the way they are trying to change the way of teaching, change the way of delivering a course in a class. So this is why the partnership actually came in front, but it went beyond that now. We are talking about with Amazon and we're talking about with Microsoft. So looking forward for a great future with both of you and love this session. I want to thank all the speakers today. And as she said, yes, I did pick up a couple of points that all of you have described today. I'm going to incorporate some of the ideas that I picked up today here in my own institution. So thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir. It means a lot that you're joined here today. Thank you, everyone. And please join us for lunch. And it'll be a networking session. You'll get to meet these people individually. And I think did a little superstar have a little message for us. Is she gone? Where's the butterfly kid? Is she here? Do you want to say hi? No, she's suddenly shy. She only comes out when everybody is talking in a panel. आप आइए, हेलो, आपने क्या सीखा आज के पैनल से?
Hello. Welcome to the school and we have learned.
Very good. Good job. Thank you, guys. Please join us for lunch. We'll move on. Thank you so much.